Welcome everyone, welcome to CodeVardhan. So today we are going to start with the iteration and you can also call it as loops. So we'll see how loops are working in our Python code. So let's write the today topic loops. Before we start with the loops, we will be going to discuss further things and the few terminology which is very important in case of the loops. So, technically, we can say that loops are divided into four parts. Okay, one we called as initialization, second we called it as condition, third we called it as increment or decrement or change. You can say that, or you can also say that update, and fourth we have the working, like what that loop will work. Okay, so before going to these four parts and four important terminology of the loops, let's understand what is the requirement of the loop. So till now we understand that how we can do the things, how we can compare two things, how we can decide where to go, where not to go, what is true, what is false. We have two ways to do. But now there might be a situation where you have to do the same thing again and again and again. Okay, for example, it's very simple. Ask you to print a counting from 1 to 100. Okay, so to print a counting 1 to 100, what I'm supposed to do, I will write print 1, sorry, semicolon will not be there. Then I will do print 2 and so on up to 100. Okay, so this is the one way where I can print the counting from 1 to 100. Okay, you can say that, okay, sir, no problem. We can easily do the counting from 1 to 100. But what if I do it for 1 to 1000? You say that, okay, no problem, 1 to 1000. That might be time consuming, but you'll say, okay, we will try. But as soon as I say print 1 to 1 lakh, then it might be a problem because it is way much time consuming and you have to keep writing the same thing again and again for 1 lakh times. Okay, so it is not only the matter of time, it is only that there might be first time consuming is there, then you can it's errors. There might be possibility that you will get multiple errors. Okay, and missings, there might be possibility that we miss one or two numbers. These are the common things which we have to overcome. Okay, so to overcome these common things we come to understand the loops. What are the loops? So loops are nothing but in the code, these are the lines you have written, these are some lines of the codes, and whenever we are running this, so as we know we have a control, so consider this pink thing as control. So control is running this, then control is running this, then control is running this, and after this control knows that there is a loop and these are the two lines which come under the loop. So what control will do? And control will keep doing this again and again and again and again and again until a certain interval or until a particular thing which is stopping him to do that. Okay, and then he continue going these things. Okay, in a real life example, consider like in army, you will be asked to take 10 rounds of the ground. Okay, so you are doing same thing again and again for next 10 rounds. You will be keep running on the same thing until 10 rounds. So this what we called as a loop. So something when we are doing the same thing again and again repeated times, we call it as loops. Okay, so I think you get a basic idea of the loops. Now a loop have these four important terms, and these four important parts or loops are divided into these four parts that we call that initialization, condition, increment, decrement, or you can change or update, and the working. So we'll take example of this army only. Okay, so in army you are asked to complete 10 rounds. Okay, so what we will do? So we have four terms. Let's take four boxes. This is my four terms which I am treating as four boxes. Okay, in the first box, let's understand the initialization. So initialization will be from 1, like from 1, the first round will start. This we called as the 1. Okay, your condition will be until 10, until you will not complete the 10, until not complete 10 rounds. Okay, this will be your condition. Okay, your increment decrement will be what, or your update will be what? It will be plus 1. After completing each round, you will plus 1, do the plus 1. Okay, and at the end, what is the working? Working is running. Okay, so this is a loop where you have an initialization, where you are starting with something. You have a target that you have to go 10 rounds, and you are increasing anything by 1 each time. It might be 1, it might be 2, sometimes it might be decrease. So for example, in other case, I will give you like this is the 10 pages, you have to type it and you have to stop until you are not completing it. So after each page, the increment or update will be decreased. First you have 10 pages. So what is my target? Initialization will be from 10. When you have to stop, when you have 0, each time what you have to do? You have to do minus 1, because each time one page will be removed from the list. And what is your work? Typing. So these are the multiple things. Or there might be possibility that at each time you will not changing it by 1, it might be changing by 2, it might be changing by 4, you might be changing by 10. It depends. Okay, so this we called as update. Okay, so these are the four important terminology. We call it as initialization, L-I-Z-A-T-I-O-N, initialization. Then we have condition, this we can call it as update, and this we called it as working. Okay, these four terminology, I hope it's good and I hope everyone understand that. Okay, next we have one few more terminologies, called it as break, continue, and pass. This pass is actually little bit important. It only found, or it only finds in terms of Python. Okay, what is break? Break is something like it asks you to stop it right now, right there, whatever the condition is. Okay, so for example, you will in let's take the RB condition, you will get a punishment to take 10 rounds. Okay, and suddenly there is a war situation, so we'll keep doing 10 rounds, or we'll just stop that thing and come to the war. So in that case, what is happening? Even if you are not completing the 10 rounds, you are stopping it. Okay, if in the certain situation you are stopping it. So if in the loop you required something like that, like in certain case, if that is there, you will stop, then we will be using break statement. Okay, these are the some special statement. Now we have continue statement. Continue statement is something which you have to left. This is be good to understand well the case of typing. Okay, you have 10 pages. Okay, in 10 pages there are something written and you have to keep typing them, keep typing them, keep typing them. Consider that one of the page is blank. What you will do? What you will type in that case? So in that case you skip that thing because that is blank. So in that case, you will skip that thing and keep on typing other pages. Or consider that page is not blank, there the entire page is covered with an image. What you will type in that case? Yes, in that page you have the data, but you can't type anything. In that case, you will continue. So it says that skip the things. And this break will called as stop right now. Okay, what is pass? So in if else statement, you find that we'll write something here, we'll write something in, and we'll write colon here. This colon specifies that there is something under this if condition, and that is also in intended form. Okay, so this is specified that this, yes, we are not finished yet, we have something to show up. But for example, you are doing the code, and in certain situation you are not able to decide what should you write here. Okay, but you have to do something if or something like that, or anything which have this colon. Okay, in terms of loops also we have this colon. So in that case, what you will do, you are not sure what you have to write, you're not sure what to do, so we'll simply write pass. So I will do if something is there, I will say pass, or else I will have some work like print or something. Okay, so if you are don't sure what to do, what not to do, then you will say pass. Okay, pass is nothing but a way to ignore the things, or just make it not make it blank, or it says something. You can say that ki, the glass is half full, half empty, something like that. There is empty means it doesn't mean empty, the air is filled inside it. So in the likewise, pass is there, it is not empty, it is something, but that is not empty. Technically it is empty, and technically matlab physically and verbally it is empty, technically it is not empty. Okay, that is the use of pass. Okay, now in case of Python, we will be focusing on a very important thing that we called as range. Okay, range is a function, or you can say that range is a special thing. So right now, just understand that range is a special thing. What range do? Range take three variables, okay, or you can say that three inputs. Range is going to take three inputs. So it will looks like this range. Here my I1 will be input 1, I2 will be input 2, and I3 will be input 3. What are these input? So this is start, this is end, and this is what we can say jump step. This will be called as step. So what are these things? So range is nothing but a function, a formula. You can treat it as a formula. Whenever I write something like that, range 0 comma 10 and comma 1. So what it will do? It will give me a list of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 9. It will not include the 10. So this will be considered as lower limit, and this will be considered as upper limit. Okay. So this is lower limit, this is upper limit. Whenever I do something with range, it will start from the lower limit and go up to the upper limit, and it will keep doing like this. Okay. This is what is happening inside the range. Now, what is this one doing? So one is actually doing how many steps we have to take. From 1 to 2, how many steps? 1 steps. If I change this one from to 2, the range will become 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. So, in this case, it is jumping two numbers at a time. Okay. If we need something in reverse order, so I will do something like that, range 10 comma 0 comma minus 2. So it will be doing something like that, 10, then 8, then 6, 4, 2, like this. Okay, each time it's jumping minus 2. This is what we call as range. But there's a good thing, you can skip some data. In case of range, you can only put the start and end. In this case, range will automatically take step as 1. Okay. The other format, you can take range only with end, no start, no step. So in that case, start will become 0 and step will become 1. I hope I'm making this clear. So these are the two different forms of the step. Or you have to write something like this, range, start, stop, and step. So these are the triple S. Okay. Now there is one more important thing inside the loop. What I believe you will not find it anywhere, but I used to use it. First, I called it as iterator. This you will find everywhere. And second is counter. Okay, what is iterator and what is counter? So in some cases what will happen, you will have to count the steps, how many times you are doing that same thing. Okay, means you are going like this, you are going like this, you are going like this, you are going like this. So you have to count the steps, how many times you are doing like this. Okay, in that case we do, or we say it as counter because it is counting the steps. Okay, that we called as counter. In next case, we have something called as iterator. What we will do with the iterator? Iterator is nothing but it is actually checking from where to where end, like from start from where and to end at where. Iterator is nothing that it just take when to finish. Where, like for example, you have a some work to type a page. So what is your task? You will have to start from this and end at this. This we called as iterator. In this case, it is very compulsory that you will keep doing things until this ends not come. There might be possibility you will come at the end after 1 or 2 lines. There might be possibility you will come at the end after 4 lines, after 10 lines, after 20 lines. So there is nothing like that. The iterator will keep going, keep going, keep going until you will do. So these are the some important terminology in the loops. We have covered some things which are more important. I will write it down here. First of 4 parts, which is initialization, condition. Now we have update, then we have working. In the next part, we understand that key what are break, what are continue, and what are pass. In next statement, we understand that what is range. In next step, we understand that what is iterator and what is counter. So these are the few things which you have to understand. So in this video, this is all. We are going to take a live example and we'll understand how loops work in a coding in the next video. Till then, please watch all your previous video. If you having any doubts, please do ask, do comment, like this video, share with your friends, and do subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much.